what's the difference in like, imagine a guy, what's the difference between him getting sexual attention from a girl and relationship intention? Like a girl who just sees him casual
There's no
versus
difference.
there's no difference.
I don't think so, because every girl that wanted to have sex with me, she wanted a relationship afterwards.
You know, anecdotal experience, I would co-sign on that.
Yeah.
I think 99% of the time. What do you think? What do you think a girl would see in a guy where she only wanted something casual, but she was like, I couldn't be anything long term?
Phew, I can go quite deep here.
Go on, yeah, talk to me.
Yeah. So in my experience, the girls who can have sex but they don't attach to you, which I think it's inevitable because women are more emotionally connected, let's say, so they will have an attachment to you if you have sex with them. That's the difference. So the women that I've been with who didn't attach to me, usually some issues going on there, whether it's like they're not over an ex or they have some trauma from something, I don't know. But it's very different because the women that were like that I've dated, it wasn't really that fun, to be honest. It was there was no connection, and you know, I'm a bit of a straight talker, as I'm sure you've
as you can see.
Yeah, but the best sex is always going to come from a connection, right? When you two get on, there's chemistry there, there's an understanding. Because when there's not, you're thinking, why am I even doing this? What is the point?
It's almost like, man, I don't know how much I should reveal about my own experience.
I'm going to bring out the bad side of kid here.
Yeah, maybe, who knows? I mean, listen, you can ask away. I think as a guy, you know, you can be intimate with a girl, but if she is guarded because she's protecting herself from bad experiences, which we understand, but if she is guarded in that sense, then as a guy, you can be like, yeah, she's attractive, we have fun, but there's just something missing.
I agree.
You know, I guess ultimately it is that connection. And I guess, you know, that does take a level of vulnerability for her to do that.
How did dating change for you when you became a full-time dating coach and you started seeing probably the same patterns every single day? I'm guessing, like me.
That's interesting because obviously, because I coach women, but I think my dating didn't really change for me. I would like officially becoming like a coach. I will say some things have shifted in terms of, you know, as things progress and, you know, your business progress and all that. You know, I think I've gotten some girls actively making an approach, but then I think that always makes me very suspect because I'm like, I'm still the same person, but just the perception of my position is different.
Clout is a crazy thing.
Could be clout, could be because, you know, you drive a nice whip or you're, you know, somewhere nice or whatever. So I would say it's interesting because I even say that before, you know, because I still act, but obviously, you know, I was mainly an actor before. When I didn't have anything, like I was still living at home and, you know, I was doing acting jobs. And I believed it more that girls were actually in it for me because I was like, I don't have anything tangible to offer. So I know you just like me for my charisma and charm.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas now, you know, yeah, you build up your life, like this is my place and stuff like that. And I get it. You know, if women are looking to settle down, they go, well, that's attractive. You know, he can provide in that sense. But then I'm like, do you want me or do you just want what I can do for you? Do you know what I mean? And that's always like a question I think I started to ask now because I'm like, and maybe it's like a self-value thing, but if a girl, especially if she's attractive, if she's taking really high interest where it seems like she's making the move, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always wonder why.
What's your game here?
What's your game here? Because I guess, I don't know, my own experience, like I only really started getting attention from girls as an adult. And you know, I'd have girls show that they're open to me approaching them or open to me pursuing it. Like she would be receptive. But if a girl's actively coming to me now, and I talked to one of my, you know, my mentors about this, she was like, yeah, it's just you have an issue with your self-value because you think, why would she have such high interest, you know, if she doesn't know you? That's what I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? So it's weird because I'm like, women should approach men more, but maybe this is my own personal thing. I'm like, this must be what attractive women, like hot girls, feel like when a guy like pulls out all the stops to really pursue her.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Why
like,
do you want me
why
so bad?
though? Like, yeah, why do you want me so bad? I'm like, I get it.
Yeah,
it is mad. Do you think girls should approach guys more?
No,
not at all.
No,
don't listen to it, ladies. You can approach us. It's fine.
I think it should be the old fashioned drop the handkerchief, you know, let him come do it for you.
Yes,
because most men, like a big proportion, they want to be the man in their relationship. They want to be respected. They want her to follow his lead.
And women want that as well. I think a lot of women do. No,
in my experience, even very left-wing liberal women who said they want I'm an independent bad bitch. After a few weeks, it was baby names and what's happening next. So
Yeah.
I think nature is nature, and your biology will overcome your like socialization when you're with the right guy. I don't want to say the one, but you know what I'm saying, right? A guy who brings it out inside of you.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I'm very tired today. I keep losing my train of thought.
That's all right, man. Don't you worry about it. Well, I'm here to bounce off, mate. The term alpha widow.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
What does that mean for those who don't know?
So if the women who are watching this, they have 100% experienced this, whether they realize it or not. They probably just haven't put a name to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically where they have a certain experience with a guy, and when things end, if they can't replace him and what he offered her and how he made her feel, especially feelings, she can't get over him. And it's usually when there's a massive disparity in their value, which it makes dating sound very, very transactional and bad, but it would be like if a normal woman suddenly gets access to like a Marcus Rashford, then he dumps her. She's not going to replace him anytime soon. No guy's going to compete with his fame, who he is, the money he has. So she's going to be widowed by what could have been. And she'll be haunted by that. Like, look at the Titanic, classic story.
Yeah.
She remarried and she was still loyal to Jack, even all those years later.
Yeah, even, what's her name? Jada Pinkett with Will Smith. I don't know if you ever saw in an interview. She said,
of course, man.
Like, she was like, Tupac was always the love of her life. I'm like, you said this and you're already married to a man? And you said it on public
and Will
television?
sits there smiling, yeah.
Yeah,
you go, girl.
Yeah. He's like, that's my missus as well. They're apparently getting divorced. Do you think most women have had that experience where there has been that one guy who just really made her feel type of way, really kind of just, elevated and rocked her life in that sense that, it didn't work out and now she's comparing every guy to him?
100%. I think it's also a timing thing because of my experience. Let's say a girl's been with a few guys, and one of the first guys she ever got with, I think sometimes it's like first come, first served in terms of her attachment to that guy. Because I've seen that even girls that I've been with, because I was one of her first, I had a very big impact on her because I was the first man she'd been with, right?
Yeah.
One of the first. So I think it also comes down to that because, imagine being a woman in your first time, and you're having this deep emotional bonding experience with a man and then it just gets severed. It's like losing a relative. Like, you mourn that, and I don't really think you get over those kinds of things. You just learn to move on with your life.
Yeah, you don't get over it. It just gets easier.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, if anyone's been through loss, this. You never really accept it. You just get on with it.
Yeah. Do you think in a lot of scenarios, if that guy came back, she would embrace it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Interesting. So guys aren't safe if.
Well, this is why I say to men, you have to raise your value and become the guy she can't replace. Because then when you do this,
very true. That's
the only way to guarantee some security. You're never going to have full security.
Yes.
But I am 100% secure in my relationship because I know you ain't replacing me. You might find someone better looking, but you ain't going to find someone that is.
You're going to find Mr. Matthew Hiring.
I'm good looking, but there's always a better looking guy out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, for sure. I think, I think it's important to have that mindset because I think a lot of people be like, oh, that's really, arrogant or what it is. But I think ultimately a lot of women do want to be with a guy where he has that level of confidence, who can just be that man for her, And so it's better to have overconfidence in being that and working to become that than not believing yourself and not reaching that potential.
I've seen so many cases of this is myself and then friends where a woman will wait for a very ambitious, confident guy.
Yes.
But the guy who's already made it, if he's a bit of a dweeb, she don't want that.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why?
Because I think character trumps everything. Money, even potentially fame. Because if you have got the gift of the gab and you can speak and make her feel something, you've got her. You're going to win her heart. Yeah,
it's true. That's why you get those, nice guys that earning good money and stuff and doing everything for her.
Most of my clients, they're very well off. A lot of them means nothing.
And then she goes with the, guy might still be living at home. He's a struggling musician, but he's just got that charm, charisma, and knows how to play a good G-flat chord, has to be done. Okay, I'm going to do red flag, green flag game with you. All right, so we're going to go through them and you can tell me what you think is a red flag, green flag, or amber, indifferent, and you can tell me why. All right. So first one, a girl who suggests a fancy restaurant for a first date.
Red flag.
Why is that a red flag?
First dates should be low investment. Otherwise, what's your game?
I hear that. What would you say to the girl who's like, no, but it's just my standard that I'm making an effort for you, and that you're potentially serious about me?
Yeah, fair enough. Go and find somebody else.
Listen, if you can't walk away from the table, you can't negotiate.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Next one, a girl who doesn't offer to pay on the first date.
Ooh, Amber.
Okay, why?
I would never want a woman to pay for me, but I want her to at least offer, knowing that I will say no.
Yes.
Because I want to know you have some skin in the game here. And then I will take you seriously. So I would do this test on dates, and I did it to most girls where I'm going to pay for most of the drinks and food and whatever. Because, when I say no fancy dinners, I'm happy to go for tapas with some drinks and do something. It's more just high investment meals. But I would always say, it's your turn to get us a drink, off you go kind of thing, jokingly. And I'll just watch them, just see how they react to that. And if they get offended, I'm like, no worries, I'll get the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, ladies, my clients, right? I said that guys do this test. I do this test as well.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, if I go on a date with a girl, I will observe to see if she offers, right? And it's not because I've always paid for the date. It's not about the money. It's about the lack of gesture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're not entitled to anything from each other, Yeah, were you going to say something on that? Or?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Do the next one.
All right, let's do the next one. A girl who wants to text you all day, every day.
Amber.
Go on.
Depends on her experiences. If it's coming from a place of insecurity because, somebody messed her over, that's a red flag, trauma. But if it's because she's just so infatuated with you because you've had such an impact on her, could be a green flag.
Fair play.
Because I've had both experiences, and it can be either endearing or like, please go away from me. Yeah.
Okay. Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
Through the messaging, could you tell whether it was because, she just had high interest in you compared to, because it's from a bad experience she's trying to compensate for?
Yeah, because one is messaging me to get to know me and what I'm doing. The other one is like, where are you? Who are you with?
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty obvious for sure. A girl who says that she goes to therapy.
Sorry, red flag.
Red flag? I think that's a green flag, man. Why is it red flag for you?
You can tell me your opinion here.
Go on.
I've never met a woman who went through therapy. I met quite a few that actually came out better off. They came out more self-aware, but that self-awareness in my experience led to more neuroticism and more overthinking and just labeling situations, which then led to more issues. Because I've met guys who've done the same thing, and I have friends who've been through therapy, and they just sit and stew over like, oh, it's just this, and it's just my attachment style. I'm like, mate, it's not that deep.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Like, she's not avoidant. She's just not into you.
Exactly.
What have I noticed? It's a good.
Have you met a woman who's actually massively benefited from? Well, when I say benefited, who healed herself? Because I'm not convinced that's a real thing.
It's different because I think women that I've met, if they're already going to therapy, they've seemed very stable.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
They've seemed very stable in that sense.
Do you not think it's Pandora's box?
What do you mean?
Where it's being kind of contained because she's having someone talk her through it. And then she gets 6 months into your relationship and boom.
She comes out of nowhere. Medusa, there she is.
Bipolar.
Do you know what I mean? I haven't had that. I think the reason I see it as a green flag is because one thing that I've noticed is that certain girls, if they're going through therapy, they're a lot more aware and willing to take accountability for certain emotional outbursts that they might have, or like, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done. Do you know what I mean?
I think therapy is more a sign of her character and what she's willing to do to improve, rather than the actual outcome of the therapy itself.
The actual process.
Yes.
Interesting.
I dated. I don't want to go too in depth, but I've dated women in that field, and they were intelligent, so amazing at labeling things, and like, we're gonna work through this because of this and that. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, she's so self-aware and accountable. Doesn't change the fact that we're still at each other's necks constantly.
Yeah.
It just happens that when it comes to resolving it, it just sounds better, but it doesn't actually lead to a resolution.
Sounds better because you have all the sophisticated words to label it, but does it actually fix the problem? Interesting. I'll definitely ruminate on that for sure. She sleeps with you on the first date.
Amber.
Go on.
Because I've had so many good relationships from sleeping with her on the first date.
So why not green flag then?
Because it can be both ways. Because a man will sleep with a woman because she will on the first date, but that doesn't mean she's worthy of a relationship. And then there's the woman who you happen to have so much chemistry with and you get along really well and it leads that way.
Yeah.
There's been girls when I've said to their face, and I mean this, we're not going to sleep together because, you know, I respect you and I like you and I don't want to just go straight to that. Let's actually just chill a bit.
Yes.
And then because you're holding back, yeah, things lead to another thing, and there you go.
Yeah. So interesting. Maybe I'm the only one, because I think it is a bit of an amber flag. Sometimes I'd say red flag, but for me, it's really about understanding, if that's something that she does, I'm just gonna be honest, I'll probably get hate for this. If she sleeps with guys on the first date as a regular thing, I'm like, that's absolutely cool, but that's probably not the kind of woman I want to invest in long term.
Yeah.
But if I'm the exception,
exactly, that's what I was going to say.
That's fine.
Yeah. So if I dig into her past and I find out, oh, I'm the exception, I'm like,
right,
I'm the man. Yeah, that's okay now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. If I'm the exception, that's the only way. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I would. It would give a certain impression to me.
I agree.
It would give a certain impression to me. She's only ever slept with one person.
Amber again.
Oh, okay. Go on. I thought you would have said green.
Because I've had both ends of the spectrum before, where I've unknowingly dated a girl who had literally no experience, and it's nice because you're kind of showing her the way. You know that you can like influence her in a positive way, and like build something together, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But then I've also had it where they've just got an issue with men, and they don't like men, and they don't trust men, and they think men are out to get them.
So that's why
they're being very reserved. And yeah, there was one girl I was dating that was like this. And she always had this kind of weird look about her, like she was waiting to go, aha, that's what you're trying to do.
Right, so she was looking for it.
Yeah.
You can feel that, because it's like you make a what they call it, a mold out of a mountain hill. What is it?
A mountain out of a molehill.
There it is. Thank you. She says she gets tested regularly.
Yeah, red flag. If you've not had sex for a year, why are you getting tested?
Why are you getting tested?
Chlamydia is not airborne.
So at least you know she's safe. She's responsible. You know, she plays a lot, but she's responsible. Do you know what I mean? Okay. She speaks positively about an ex.
I'm gonna say it depends, but okay, amber flag, amber.
Okay.
Because if she's respectful, but she's what's the word when you have like no feeling towards something? Indifferent. If she's indifferent and respectful, I respect that
100%.
But if it's like he did this and we did that, nah, I ain't gonna try and fill his shoes.
Yeah.
And fight for you here, no chance.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's definitely how I'd say is, if she speaks about an ex positively but she is indifferent, I think that's the best case scenario.
Question for you: have you ever had to check a girl for speaking about her ex?
As in
tell her, like, I don't want to hear about your ex. Why are you still talking about this guy?
If it's the first date, no. I think I would have just made that assessment of,
you're not serious.
Yeah. If I'm being honest. Like, if she's speaking about her ex, like, oh, he did this, and it was, really great, and I gave me the impression that she's not over it, I would just be like, okay, in my head, I'd be like, cool, this isn't going any further. I've had it, if she's talking about her ex being a narcissist, toxic, I'm like, okay, but the ex was before that, and the ex was before that. I'm like, well, the common denominator is you. Do you know what I mean? Sure, there can be some bad guys out there, but one, how are you choosing men? And then what does that say about me? if that's the kind of men that you choose. But also two, if it's always the case that it was only ever them, where's the accountability on your part? Do you know what I mean? I think that's really important. Do you know what I mean?
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.